Hello everyone, this is Silhouette and welcome to Quavel College. This lesson is the first lesson in grade 10 for term 3 and our topic today is life roles. The topic will be broken down into 3 parts. The first being different life roles, followed by changing roles, and then lastly, handling each role effectively. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, let's just look at some keywords. The first keyword that we'll look at is life role. So what is a life role? A life role is the part that someone has within a family, community, or any other social grouping. The next keyword is change, meaning when something becomes different. Next is responsibility. A responsibility is a task or a duty that someone is required or is expected to do. And then the last keyword that we'll make use of in this lesson is relationships. A relationship is a way in which 2 or more people behave, talk, or deal with each other. As people, at any given time, we have different life roles that we have to play, and each role is different. It can be a dependent, meaning that you depend on others to support you and be there for you. It can be independent, meaning that you don't need others to support you or to do things for you. Or it can be interdependent, meaning that you and someone depend on each other for help and support. These are examples of life roles and the responsibilities that comes with them. The first is a young child. The young child is dependent on their parents or the caregivers, and their responsibilities are to listen and adhere to what is expected of them. Next is a teenager, also dependent on caregivers and parents. However, they are responsible for their own behaviors. The next role is a student. The student is responsible for working hard and making sure that they pass. Next, it's a partner. A partner is an interdependent relationship, meaning that you depend on each other for support, love, and caring for one another. The next role is a parent. The parent is responsible for looking after the children and also being a caregiver. Other roles include being an older child. The older child is normally the firstborn of the family, and once they grow up, they take on the responsibility of looking after the family, especially their younger siblings. Another life role is that of a grandparent. The grandparent may be a dependent on others, however, they also play the responsibility of guiding and advising the next generation. Furthermore, some households, the grandparent is responsible financially and therefore will use their pension to support the children. Next, the life role of being a breadwinner. A breadwinner is someone who is employed, gets a salary, and then that person is dependent on themselves, and their responsibility is that they support their family. The next life role is that of an employee. An employee is independent, meaning that they depend on themselves. However, they can also be interdependent because their team members depend on them to complete tasks at work. Another life role is that of an employer. The role of an employer is a crucial one because they need a good working relationship with their employees, and furthermore, they are able to provide fair and good working conditions for their employees, and then make sure that all the employees get their salaries at the end of the month. The next life role will be that of a leader. A leader is someone that makes decisions, that takes initiatives. And then lastly is the life role of that of a follower. A follower must be able to listen to instruction, cooperate, and also respect their leaders. Sometimes roles change in life. You may take up new roles, or some roles may change in their nature. Some roles can be forced on a person due to changing circumstances, and then some roles become more important than others. For example, the role of a parent to a child or the role of a child to a parent. Initially, the child depends entirely on the parent for support, for love, for care. However, as they grow up, the role may change with time. For example, when we reach teenagehood, our friends become more important than our parents. We may think that our parents are old school, that they can't relate to the challenges or the things that we are going through at the time. Another reason that life roles can change is that of starting new relationships. So when we start dating, we neglect our old roles or the people that are in our lives, and we focus more on the relationship or the person that we have started a relationship with. We forget about our friends and families, and we focus more on the person that we have started the relationship with. And then lastly, for this lesson, we'll be looking at handling roles effectively. This simply means that with each role that we play, there are some skills and competencies that we learn from each role. For example, the role of being a learner includes learning skills such as reading, writing, computing, planning, gathering information, evaluating, and imagining. And then the role of being a friend includes the competencies of loving, empathizing, sharing, helping, supporting, and listening. And then the role of being a citizen includes the skills and the competencies of participating, leading, acting, discussing, caring, getting involved in community projects, and also doing activities with different organizations such as schools and local churches. And then the skills and competencies that we learn from the role of being a family member include helping, sharing, loving, taking responsibility, and maintaining our health. And then the last example when it comes to competencies and skills is that of a role of a person at leisure. And their skills and competencies include appreciating the art of music, relaxing, reflecting, playing, and then having knowledge about the different sporting code that we have in the world. And with that, we have reached the end of the lesson. The next lesson that will follow this one is changes from adolescence to adulthood. Peace.